depends which one. Our chief guest, I want to take the singular honor before I invite our Commissioner General to appreciate the fact that URA, our hosts today, continue to drive innovation in this country. And just recently, most recently, Right Honorable, they launched the digital strategy as an agency, and we want to appreciate them for continuing to appreciate technology and support the development of technology within their young people. And I discovered that day as we were launching the strategy that all the different platforms that had been launched and were created had been created by their own staff here at the URA. Can we appreciate the URA and the young people here at URA who continue to drive transformation? I now want to take the singular honor of inviting our Commissioner General to come and make his remarks, his welcome remarks. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome none other than our Commissioner General himself.
Our chief guest today, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, Madam Robina Nabanja, the Honorable Minister of Finance, represented this morning by the Honorable of State in charge of investment, Excellency the Ambassadors, our Honorable Members of Parliament, the leaders of the armed forces, the representative of the CDF, the heads of government agencies present, our chairman of the Board of Directors, Mr. Juma Chisame, and the distinguished board members, Madam Helen and others who may be in the room. Our religious leaders, my lord the bishops, the pastors, and the different heads of the other religious groups present here today. Our very honorable and distinguished taxpayers, the ones that have been invited here today and who are here because of their level of compliance, colleagues, members of senior management at Uganda Revenue Authority, all the staff of Uganda Revenue Authority, the members of the media, our friends from the famous and wonderful Afrigo Band, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. I stand before you here today with a deep sense of gratitude, first and foremost to God, for the far that He has brought us as a nation, but also as an organization and our partners, but also to thank Him for blessing this day and making our plans come to pass. Our distinguished taxpayers have come from all over the country, from the far east, far north, far west, here in the center, Let's give a big hand clap to God who has fulfilled all our heart's desires. My next deep sense of gratitude goes to our Right Honorable Prime Minister, who in spite her very hectic schedules, earmarked this day and set it apart for us to come and celebrate with us. Thank you so much, Right Honorable. And the Right Honorable represents and heads all the other distinguished leaders who have sacrificed their time to be with us. The Honorable Members of Parliament, Honorable Members of Cabinet, the leaders of the Army, the heads of the MDAs. I'm deeply humbled. When I scanned through, I had a moment to go through and greet most of you before the function started. I'm deeply, deeply honored. May I request that we clap for everyone who has come to be with us this morning. Right Honorable Prime Minister, we are deeply, as Uganda Revenue Authority, we are deeply grateful for the support that we get from all our valued guests that are here today. Starting with the government of Uganda, and I'm happy, Right Honorable, you gave us a few minutes of your time when you arrived to tour some of the heavy investments that the government of Uganda has done for us as an organization to enable us to do our work well. Please receive our appreciation and pass it on to His Excellency the President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, as our vision bearer, as our leader of the nation, but also to the entire team of Cabinet and our leaders in Parliament for year in year passing sizable budgets to Uganda Revenue Authority to enable us to invest and improve the way we do our work. Right Honorable Prime Minister, in this room we have many unsung heroes, and these are our economic heroes, the men and women who contribute to the building of the foundation of this nation and help us achieve our shared aspirations as a country. So the willingness of these honorable ladies and gentlemen who will be appreciating today to contribute their hard-earned income, not just because they are compelled by the law, but also they believe in the dedication of paying their taxes as one way of improving our nation. Let's clap for the ladies and women, for the ladies and men in this room who are our compliant taxpayers. And today is just about them. We believe that every tax payment made is a demonstration of patriotism. It is a tangible expression of your belief in the importance of working together for the common good of our nation. It is through your collective contribution that we are able to bridge gaps, to address challenges, to pay our civil servants, to build infrastructure, and generally to create opportunities for all the citizens in the country for a brighter and fulfilled life as citizens of the nation. In addition to funding these very essential services, your tax payments contribute to the stability and growth of our nation. They provide resources necessary for paying our workers and also for positioning our country as a place for investment and prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, we understand that paying taxes is not always an easy task, and indeed, many times we collide, many times we fail to understand each other. But I'm deeply grateful to Afrigo Band because they started with a wonderful song of Jim Wange. a taxpayer and a tax collector, our relationship is eternal. It's like a marriage. Whether we love each other, whether we quarrel, whether we fight, we are eternally bound for the good of our nation. So I thank our partners. Now, us in URA, we are the ladies, and then the other side, you are our gyms. So thank you, our gyms, for putting up with us and tolerating some of our mistakes. And also, on our side, I thank the URA team for tolerating some of the mistakes. But what this day is about, Right Honorable, it is about people who have minimized or almost eliminated these areas of conflict between Jim and his wife. These are the people who we count on, and we know that even when we don't check, they will do the right thing. They will pay the right amount of taxes. This day started in the year 2005, and it is not just one day of taxpayer appreciation. It is a season, almost a whole month, when we recognize and appreciate our most compliant taxpayers, just to strengthen the relationship between URA and the public. But we also take this opportunity to invite and thank all the other stakeholders, because as you heard from the introductions, this job of tax collection cannot just be done by a single entity called URA. We depend so heavily on the prayers of our religious leaders. That's why you are deeply honored for our leaders in Christ who have made it here, and all the other religious leaders in the country. I've asked for a name, for a list to know who is here so that I recognize you. Thank you so much for coming. But also the MDAs, the enforcement agencies like the UPDF and the Uganda Police, who I'm sure are represented here. Yes, thank you, General Fravia, for representing the CDF. So then, of course, our members of parliament who support us in legislation, our supervisors at the Ministry of Finance. So it is an opportunity of coming together with all our stakeholders so that we appraise one another on where we stand and appreciate one another for the things that have gone well. We also use this season to amplify our tax education. As an example, the whole of last week, we had a service Excellence Week, and we invited a number of taxpayers to come here who have been having challenges in fulfilling their tax obligations. And people have turned up in numbers, and problems that have lingered on for months, some for years, have been resolved in this one last week. But this was just a launch into a new service excellence of Uganda Revenue Authority going forward, because we believe that for the many years we have tried as on our own to be good at tax collection, but without the full support of our stakeholders, we have seen that we can only go so far. So this launch and this Taxpayer Appreciation Day is an opportunity to launch us into a new relationship. It has already been there as an eternal relationship between Jim and his lover, but now it is going to become a more loving and more fulfilling relationship where we both take care of one another very tenderly and do what we are supposed to do without compulsion. Right Honorable Prime Minister, the awards that we are going to give today are mainly in 3 categories. The first category is what we call the Excel Award. This is the highest category of the most compliant, but also who contribute significant amounts. So we have those that indeed give us the highest amount, but if along the way we have to fight to get some of that from you, you may not get this award. But there is hope that next year you can get this award. So let's minimize the conflict. This is one of ways of incentivizing people to do less fighting and comply naturally. But the next category of award is called the Vantage Awards, and this is for all taxpayers across the country. That is, as you will see, People have come from Chisoro, they've come from West Nile, they've come from Busia, and all over the country. These are compliant taxpayers. They may not necessarily be paying the highest amount, but without a doubt, they do it willingly and without compulsion. And then the third category of award is called the CG's Award, and this one is to people who have significantly contributed in a strategic manner in the success of our revenue collection. So we will also recognize a few people. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, the Uganda Revenue Authority fully understands the reason why we exist. As I showed you, Right Honorable, in our tour, in the year 2021, we celebrated 30 years of age, and at that point, we changed our vision. And we said our vision is to be a transformational revenue service for Uganda's economic independence. So the Right Honorable Prime Minister, whereas we appreciate the opportunity to be given the numbers and targets, the Uganda Revenue Authority team in this room and the thousands of men and women that you've seen seated in their offices doing the work, we are committed to collecting enough revenue for the independence of our nation. And this is our vision. We have it deeply rooted in our hearts. We deeply root it in our activities every day. We dream of a day when Uganda will fully fund its budget needs and will do what we have to do without begging or borrowing. And we want to thank God by His grace that the last financial year, for the first time after many years of failing to achieve our target, we were able to collect 100.23% of the target we had been given. This could not have happened without the support of the great ladies and gentlemen in the room whom we are appreciating today. As we celebrate this day, we acknowledge that we are so far off from where we need to be to develop our nation. In terms of tax to GDP ratio, I'm told by the finance experts who monitor these numbers that we've just stepped in 14% of our tax to GDP. But we all know that there is no nation that can develop when they are collecting 14% of the GDP. Pastor Robert referred to it in his prayer. At one time, our GDP was about 5 billion. Now it's about 50 billion US dollars. But for any nation to develop, we need to grow this GDP to about 500 billion. As the GDP grows, our tax contribution must also grow. We hope that in the short to medium term, in the next 2 to 3 years, we can achieve a 20% tax to GDP. There, we will have helped government to start doing great work without the struggle. We feel the pain that our leaders go through in parliament, in government, when they have to negotiate loans, some of them with very unfavorable terms, just for the sake of developing our country. Yet we believe there is great potential within the country when we do our job and do it with dedication and in harmony with our taxpayers. So this is what today is about. It is about improving the relationship between us and taxpayers. It's about sharing the steps that we are taking in order to achieve that goal. So, Right Honorable Prime Minister, one of the areas where we are focusing as an organization to achieve a better relationship with our taxpayers is in the area of modernization. We took you through our data center, which we launched last month. This data center cost the government of Uganda about 20 billion Uganda shillings. I can promise you we are going to effectively use the data that we collect in that data center. What it does, it will efficiently tell us who owes what tax and how much without any doubts. So this is just the infrastructure to support automation. But after the data center, we are launching new technologies like IFRIS. IFRIS is the electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution. We have launched technologies like DTS, the digital tracking solution, and I saw a number of our technology partners who support us in those areas. Now, our appeal to our dear valued taxpayers Please join hands with us. Do not reject these technologies. They are for your good. Once you have them, URA will not guess that you owe us so much. The system will tell us. We will not even ask you to file your returns. You're always hiring accountants to file the returns every 15th. Sometimes they misfile them in your name, and when errors come out, we hold you accountable because you are the owner of the business. This, we are putting it back. I want to acknowledge and welcome the arrival of the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Permanent Secretary and Secretary to Treasury. You are most welcome, our leaders. Thank you for rushing through your earlier meeting to be with us. You're most welcome. As we welcome our leaders, Honorable Minister of Finance, I already acknowledged your support and the PSST, and we are very humbled and honored that you have rushed through your other meeting to be with us this morning. And please forgive us. We need to take responsibility because we changed the timing, so that affected your schedules, but thank you for squeezing in this. We changed it from afternoon to morning. So, Right Honorable Prime Minister, as I was stating, our focus is on technology. We have set up the infrastructure. We are rolling out solutions like IFRIS, which monitors the VAT. I was just telling our taxpayers, once you are fully on IFRIS, you will be saved the obligation of filing returns because we'll have that information accurately and ahead of time. But it will also help you in your business to have an accurate record of what your sales are. Similarly, with DTS, once you stop all your excisable goods, those of you with factories or import excisable goods, DTS will help you and help us to understand each other and collect our taxes effectively. Right Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Minister of Finance and all the honorable members present today, our next area of focus is on professionalism and building the capacity of our staff. We had the opportunity to interact with some of our engineers, some of our IT experts. I'd like to assure you that we have some of the best brains in this country, and we are going to continue investing in skilling all our staff so that we are able to offer a professional service. So in the same year, 2021, we picked 3 core values that we promote, and this is professionalism, integrity, and patriotism. As a minimum, all the staff of URA have these qualities, and anybody who falls short definitely must correct that mistake immediately, otherwise they will no longer belong. We feel as a minimum, this is what we can give to our nation, to offer this service free of corruption, free of any unprofessionalism, and truly for the good of our nation. So staff, professionalism, integrity, and patriotism, the core values we stand for, is another area that we have put our focus. But thirdly, and probably most importantly, is to mobilize and engage our taxpayers. We have discovered that a lot of non-compliance comes from the gap of people not knowing their obligations, their rights and responsibilities. And going forward, we are going to be very deliberate on this. This day is about that partly. We will share with you what we are doing to set platform, but if you have noticed, our presence on all the media channels in line of sensitization is increasing. Our stakeholders who are in this room are helping us. We are going through sects like the religious leaders, like the professional bodies, the accountants, the lawyers. We are doing sector by sector approach to try and bridge the gap between us and our taxpayers. So there are many, many other areas, but in the interest of time, I will not go further than this. I would now want to speak about some of the areas where we can take advantage and improve our compliancy, but also have a peace of mind that we are not at war or we have not debt owed government in the area of tax. I want to thank the honorable members of parliament. In July, they passed a law, and this is in our tax procedure code, section 40D. And what this law says is that for everybody who owes tax that has not been paid and has attracted interest, and some of it maybe was penalty for failing to do one thing or the other, all interest and penalty will be waived if the principal tax is paid by 31st of December 2023. So that means this amnesty will expire at the end of this year. I want to take this opportunity to rally every taxpayer who knows that they owe some tax to the government of Uganda. And many times, interest can grow up to the same amount as the tax. So you owe us 100 million in taxes, and then you owe 100 million in interest. You have an opportunity to pay just half and close that window. I'm told that in the room, there are some people who have already benefited from this window. And maybe before I finish my remarks, I will invite one testimony or two of people who have taken advantage of this so that you know that it's real. And now on the side of URA, to make this waiver possible, we have automated that process. In other words, if you just go in and pick your PRN, that is the payment form, and you pay the principal tax. And we have also structured your ledger so that principal tax is known, interest is known, penalty is known. So just pick the line of principal tax, pay it, the other two will collapse automatically. That process has been automated. I thank the IT team, our technology partners, TCS. These people have not been sleeping for the last 3 months, working day and night to automate that process. Now it is automated. If you meet any challenge as a new thing, please approach us. We guide, but you can do that from the comfort of your rooms and settle that. Another great law that you can take advantage of is again in our tax procedure code, section 66, and this talks about voluntary disclosure. Anybody who now discovers that there is some undeclared tax and paid tax, maybe foreign transactions you've done, maybe things that you may have forgotten, it is not a crime. If you voluntarily disclose, you will only pay the principal tax without interest and penalty. This window is available for all our taxpayers, and it is critically important that we embrace this law and utilize it because, again, thanks to our parliament, in July this year, they signed into law a law on automatic exchange of information. Uganda had earlier on joined the Global Forum, but with signing of this law and rationalizing it, it makes Uganda a member of a network of 160 countries across the world where we automatically exchange information. So in other words, if I want to know what transfer someone made to a bank in Switzerland or India, I'll just click a button and I'll get that information. So in the event that we have such a law in place, and we will soon be enjoying automatic sharing of information with these countries, let everybody who has any undisclosed tax take advantage of voluntary disclosure and come and utilize this. So, Right Honorable, without taking much more time, allow me just to invite one brief testimony from a taxpayer who has utilized 40D. And I'm told in the room there are one or two, but there is a gentleman called Daudi Mukalaza. Mr. Mukalaza, please be approaching. Come and tell us whether 40D works and what your experience has been. Of course, later on, we will also recognize some of our strategic partners. Mr. Neil is in the room. He was one of the early promoters of voluntary disclosure in anticipation of automatic exchange of information. At the end of last year, he was able to bring in a few billions from his taxpayers who did voluntary disclosure. Thanks to you, Mr. Neil, and your team from Grant Thornton. Yes, Mr. Mkalas. I can now move.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Just give us 1 minute testimony.
Okay. The chief guest, the Honorable Prime Minister, the Minister of State, Commissioner General, religious leaders, MPs, leaders of the armed forces, the URA staff. I'm Daudi Mukalazi, the MD for Mukalazi Technical Services. We are building contractors and manufacturers of concrete products based in the Nakawa industry area. We had an outstanding of VAT of about 800 million. But when I had this opportunity, I came in and started depositing in money to reduce our obligations, and the system has really worked. And I'm quite thankful to the staff of URA and all the other stakeholders. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mkalas, do you know what the interest component was on that 800? Put on your mic.
For the principal.
So 400
Yes.
was interest.
Yes.
400 was principal
Yes,
tax.
correct.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes,
thank you, Mr. Mkalas. You can take your seat.
Thank you.
I'm sure there are thousands of other taxpayers in the country who have experienced this, but just in case you are not aware, please log on to your tax account, look at your ledger, pick the principal tax and pay it, and all the interest and penalty as at 30th of June 2023, when this law was passed, the rest will collapse. And you don't have to come to us, you'll pay, and you will see your ledger take that credit and also collapse the interest and penalty. Right, Honorable Prime Minister, in the interest of time, I could go on and on with tax sensitization, but this is just a start. We'll have more time to talk about this. Now, allow me to conclude my remarks with appreciation. Right, Honorable Prime Minister, I already mentioned, and I want to repeat this now that my leaders, the Minister of Finance and the PSST are here, take our appreciation to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, to the entire Cabinet of Uganda, and all our distinguished leaders in Parliament and all the governing bodies in our country, that URA is very, very grateful for all the support you give us in terms of the money, the budget you give us, in terms of the guidance, in terms of the laws that are passed. We are very, very grateful. Let me take this singular honor again to thank all our stakeholders. I've already mentioned the groups. I will not go back in the interest of time. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you, those of you who have prayed for us. Thank you, those of you who have shared with us data. We are sharing data with all the major agencies. NIRA is in the room. National Water is here. WUMEME is here. All these people have been generous. National Registration Services Bureau, NSSF, they share with us data, which we work on in that data center that you've just seen, Right Honorable, for us to tell us who is doing what activity in the economy. So we thank you, our armed forces, for the support and all our stakeholders. But very, very importantly, allow me to once again thank our taxpayers, those that have taken the honorable duty of paying taxes, and they've done it gladly and willingly. And they are the reason we are here to celebrate today. I will not make the mistake of thanking the team of warriors at Uganda Revenue Authority. Right Honorable Prime Minister, the people you just saw in the room and the very few representatives here in the room are your frontline soldiers. Every day they are at battle trying to collect taxes. Can I ask the URA team to stand up for recognition? These are members of senior management. These are technical staff. They represent the thousands in the room and in the borders and the station. The job of revenue collection is indeed not an easy one. But I thank these ladies and gentlemen for committing themselves to this noble cause and for doing it willingly and with sacrifice. I cannot conclude my remarks without thanking our board chair and the honorable members of the board for the close guidance. Now, talk about the frontline soldiers. These are the strategic high command officials. They sit at the headquarters, but they closely guide us. Thank you, Chairman Juma. Thank you, Madam Helen. Thank you for the close guidance and supervision. Right Honorable, in the interest of time, I'll keep my remarks at this juncture and hand over back to the Master of Ceremony to guide us. But thank you so much, Right Honorable Prime Minister, for making the time to come and grace our occasion. Thank you, Madam.
I will request the Commissioner General to stay with us, but can we give the Commissioner General another round of applause? I will now invite two of our management team members, Julius Nkwaside and Geoffrey Okaka, to come. You have a ceremony you will be handling here as I introduced our very first set of awards tonight. So ladies, or this morning, again, apologize. This morning, the invitation said 2 p.m. Now I'm readjusting. All right, this morning. So I will start with our strategic partners, and these are the Commissioner General's awards. May we have the very first citation?
Right Reverend Associate Professor Sheldon Mwesigwa was consecrated on 18th July 2010 as the 5th Bishop of Ankole Diocese. The Bishop, who is also Chancellor of Bishop Stewart University in Mbarara, is very instrumental in rallying Christians in matters of religious, financial, and socio-economic transformation and tax compliance. Under his stewardship, Bishop Mwesigwa has enabled Ankole Diocese to boost its income generation through the acquisition of shares worth Uganda shillings 200 million in the church house and the construction of commercial buildings, namely the Ankole Diocese Clergy Pension House, St. Paul Shopping Mall, Church House, and Church Community Center, and other development interests like registration of the Millennium Circle that provides access to credit and the establishment of a health cooperative and a children's cancer ward at Ruharo Mission Hospital. URA applauds Right Reverend Mwesigwa for instituting a mechanism that ensures tax compliance amongst church projects. The diocesan books of account are audited by external auditors annually, thus ensuring transparency and accountability, while the diocese has an active audit department that audits all parishes and institutions to keep proper books of accounts. Ankole Diocese and its affiliated projects contributed over 3.2 billion shillings in the financial year 2022-2023 alone. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in congratulating Right Reverend Associate Professor Fred Sheldon Mwesigwa on winning this year's Commissioner General's Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we appreciate none other than Right Reverend Associate Professor Sheldon Mwesigwa.
Together to support our country. Right. Government
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
To support its objectives, building schools, roads, and many more. Better government, salaries, and many more. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, we cannot do without you.
Congratulations, Right Reverend Associate Professor Sheldon Mwesigwa. And I'll now turn to the technical team to introduce our second strategic partner.
Commissioner General's Award. Grant Thornton, Uganda traces its roots back to 1939 when it began as A.M. Shah and Sons in Jinja. Over the years, it has evolved to Grant Thornton, Uganda, GT, officially opening its Kampala office in June 2006, with the pivotal addition of CPA Anil Patel to the firm. GT has been a steadfast provider of audit, tax advisory, and outsourcing services to the businesses not only in Uganda but across East Africa and globally, with presence in 130 countries. GT stands as a beacon of international expertise and local commitment. At the heart of GT's mission is a passion for making its clients tax compliant while supporting their efficient operations. The firm actively engages with client management, providing guidance and support on various tax types. This collaborative effort extends to proactive engagement with the Uganda Revenue Authority to ensure clients' full tax compliance. Grant Thornton currently employs 120 persons in Uganda. As a firm, they contributed 46.7 billion between 2015 and 2023. Remarkably, Grant Thornton's client base contributed 110 billion in the financial year 2022-2023 alone. They have also pioneered the path of advocating for integrity and total compliance among their clients. In the last financial year, they facilitated the collection of over 5 billion through voluntary disclosure before Uganda joins the Automatic Exchange of Information program. Through Grant Thornton Tax Academy, the firm is deliberately cultivating a culture of integrity and professionalism among young tax agents. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in congratulating Grant Thornton Uganda on winning this year's Commissioner General's Award.
Developing Uganda together, calling upon more and more taxpayers. We can do better together if we care. Together we can do repair. Taxpayer, nobody loves Uganda like you care. Taxpayer, me and you build a better Uganda. Thank you. Taxpayer, thank you. We cannot do without you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give Grant Thornton another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? That concludes the Commissioner General's awards. I'll now invite the Commissioner General to invite our next speaker.
Thank you very much. It is now my singular honor to invite our board chairman, Mr. Juma Kisame, to come and make his remarks and also award the next category of the most compliant taxpayers under the category of Vintage Awards. Welcome, Chairman.
Our guest of honor, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, the Honorable Ministers present, Honorable Members of Parliament present here, Your Excellency, the Ambassadors, development partners, Chief Executive of various taxpaying entities, distinguished taxpayers, the URA Board, Madam Helen Awidi, and the PSST, who is around also, the URA Commissioner General and your team, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and of course the religious leaders who started off this ceremony. Good morning. On behalf of the Board of Directors of Uganda Revenue Authority and myself, I welcome you all to the 17th edition of the Taxpayers Appreciation Day Award Ceremony as we climax the seasonal festivities that celebrate Uganda's economic heroes. We applaud the compliant taxpayers and URA staff respectively for their contribution towards the outstanding performance exhibited by URA in the financial year 2022-2023. Over the years, URA has registered year-on-year revenue growth in tax collection. For example, in the last financial year, we posted 16.4% year-on-year growth, with collections of 25.2 trillion compared to the financial year 2021-2022, which had a 12% growth with collections of 21 trillion. While this achievement is impressive, it translates into only 14% of the tax to GDP ratio, which is far below the desired 20% tax to GDP ratio necessary to achieve economic independence and self-sufficiency. CG talked about this. Actually, based on the numbers, if we wanted to achieve the 20%, we should be looking at collecting close to 50 trillion this financial year. So you can see we have a very long way to go. The excellent performance is testament that taxpayers have enabled URA to challenge economic speculations despite the tough business environment. And as the board of directors, we do not take that for granted. As taxpayers, you have spurred URA towards cementing the success registered in the adoption of several innovations which the CG has talked about, such as EFRIS for the registered VAT taxpayers, DTS for the local exercise collections from manufacturers and importers of gazetted products, BWIMS for efficient warehouse management, USSD code that is targeting improvement in the collections from the presumptive category and advanced income tax collections, and the automated ledger reconciliation that improves transparency and tax compliance, among others. While driving an intensive agenda to grow local revenue mobilization through initiatives such as alternative dispute resolution, voluntary disclosure program, IFRIS, and DTS solutions, URA's commitment to service takes paramount precedence. We guarantee you a seamless access to automated processes that have been streamlined to ease taxpayer compliance so that we convene in these spaces in the future to celebrate more and more compliant and diligent economic heroes. In accordance with the digitization strategy to simplify and improve client experience, Uganda Revenue Authority has enhanced its services, and we are confident that URA will automate more tax processes, boost quality assurance, and mitigate revenue leakages. This has already been witnessed through avenues such as the revamped web portal, the USSD code, simplified ledger reconciliation, and automatic exchange of information, to mention but a few. At the peak of integrating technological innovations and service excellence, the collaboration with stakeholders should take center stage for the greater success of the revenue mobilization journey and Uganda's development at large. I urge everyone here to spread the word and encourage taxpayers to embrace the waiver on interest and penalties that allows taxpayers to pay only the principal tax of their liabilities prior to expiry of the grace period, which is due on 31st December. The CG talked about this. So it's a big opportunity which you need to take advantage of. I also wish to take this opportunity to appreciate the URA staff led by the Commissioner General for their tireless effort in fulfilling the URA mandate. Once again, I would request that we clap for them. Our dear Commissioner General, as a board, we appreciate all the effort you are putting in to change and modernize URA and simplify tax collection. And we wish you success in whatever you are doing. Thank you for your individual contribution and effort, URA staff, wherever you are. Taxpayers are uniquely placed to facilitate our understanding of how the business environment operates to enable continuous innovation and ease tax compliance. On that note, I implore the URA staff to ceaselessly engage our stakeholders, provide extensive tax education, use data analytics to manage risks, identify potential taxpayers, select audit cases, and plug revenue leakages. When you look at our asset register and you look at the level of compliance, you find that there are so many Ugandans who are still seated on the sidelines. So we are hoping that with the use of technology, we'll be able to get everybody into the net so that we can all together build our country. Uganda's development is a communal effort that requires collaboration and contribution from each one of us. It's like a house construction project in which each brick laid by the builders ensures that the walls are erected in the right places and in a timely manner. We, the URA team, are the builders, and the revenue from each and every treasured taxpayer provide the bricks as we execute the revenue mobilization agenda. Take a moment, dear staff, to contemplate and ask yourself whether your bricks are of the right quality and quantity. Do not compromise the project in any way. As I come to the end of my speech, I also want to take this opportunity to appreciate the government of Uganda, but I'll be more specific to appreciate our line minister, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, together with your technical team, the PSST and others, for the continued guidance and support and for policy formulation. Please clap for them, because collecting tax is only possible if you are guided with a framework of legislation and policies and administrative guidelines. And all the time, we are always going to the line minister whenever we have challenges, and they have helped us to make sure that we are able to do our work. So thank you very much, and please continue the support, because we will be coming all the time. Besides her natural beauty, rich culture, and the abundant resources, Uganda is blessed with taxpayers who honor their tax obligations, ultimately contributing to Uganda's economic development. As we celebrate and toast our economic heroes today, let us continue to make Uganda a beacon of greatness in Africa and shine like the pearl of Africa that we are. Thank you and enjoy the day. God bless you all, for God and my country.
Can we give our chairman another round of applause? Speaking on behalf of the board of URA, and he will hand over the next set of awards, and we are moving to the Vantage Awards, and we will begin with Eastern Uganda, and we'll have individual and then corporate. Let's run the citation for individual.
Adjacent to the Tororo Rock lies Tororo Municipality, where Mr. Wilson Mayamba operates his wholesale and retail trade in general merchandise. Located on Plot 8/10, School Road, Tororo Municipality, Mayamba was effectively registered in June 2012. He is currently registered for payee, individual income tax, and VAT. Mr. Mayamba fulfills his tax obligations consistently on a monthly basis and annual basis, and is responsive whenever URA offers advisory in terms of filing and paying taxes. He is recognized for making a revenue contribution of over Uganda shillings 130 million and a revenue growth of 158% over the last 3 years. He currently employs several Ugandans directly and aspires to employ more and continue to support Uganda to attain its aspirations. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in congratulating Mr. Wilson Mayamba as the winner of the Vantage Award Eastern Region under the individual category.
I will invite Ms. Lydia Nsibambi, who is one of our senior managers, to come and welcome and receive, of course, Mr. Wilson Mayamba. Can we give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen?
omusolo webala okusasula omusolo ne tukulaakulanya eggwanga. The children are going to school for free. Roads have been constructed.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is his daughter. We continue to appreciate Mr. Wilson Mayamba for his compliance, and she's here representing her father. Can we give the family another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? I'll now invite Miss Agnes Nawire to join us, and she will be receiving our next recipient. May we run the citation.
Located in Malaba, in the eastern part of the country, Catch Up Global Forwarders Limited deals in clearing and forwarding. The company was incorporated in June 2016 and is registered for payee, withholding tax, corporation tax, VAT, and import and export duties. Catch Up Global Forwarders Limited employs about 17 staff and has contributed over Uganda shillings 1.84 billion over a period of 3 years, with revenue growth of 136.5% over the same period. Change is a very unsettling event. However, Catch Up Global Forwarders Limited is very responsive and has recently embraced and been trained in the electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing system, IFRIS, as well as in the new features of the new URA web portal. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in congratulating Catch Up Global Forwarders Limited on winning this year's Vantage Award for Eastern Region under the non-individual category.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give Catch Up Global Forwarders a round of applause as they come?
The children are going to school for free. Roads have been constructed. Ebyobulimi bitutumuse obutale webuli. Abakyala tebakyazaalira mu mbeera mbi ng'eyedda.
We have electricity. Businesses are being supported. Uganda Airlines ekomyewo. I'm proud to be Uganda.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate Catch Up.
Oh, we celebrate you.
Congratulations, Catch Up Global Forwarders. We are now going to move to Mid-Western. That's the next category. I now take the pleasure of inviting the Honorable Minister of State for Investment, the Honorable Evelyn Anite, to come and award the next category. She is awarding the category under Mid-Western. So the Mid-Western category for the Vantage Awards, we will have, as we did for Eastern, we'll have individual and the institution. May we start just before that citation, as we wait for the Honorable Evelyn Anita to join me here on stage, allow me invite Ms. Sandra Kaitare and Ms. Allen Nasanga, who will be receiving our recipients here on behalf of the management team. So may we have this citation for Mid-Western.
Mr. Govind is an individual taxpayer, first registered for tax in December 2011. He is a director of Jotika Hardware Limited, located in Hoima City along Fort Portal Road. Govind derives his income from rentals and business. He regularly engages the URA team to seek guidance and support to keep his tax affairs up to date. This has enabled him to file his returns on time, as well as make timely payments. He employs several people, thereby contributing to the nation's development agenda. Over the past 3 years, Mr. Govind contributed Uganda shillings 0.17 billion with a revenue growth of 1,173%, making him the biggest individual contributor of income tax in rental and business last financial year in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Mr. Govind Pindoria Kimji on winning this year's Vantage Award Midwestern Region for the individual category.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for our recipient, Mr. Govind. We want to appreciate you and thank you so much for being compliant on behalf of URA. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give him another round of applause?
Let me say thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Govind. I will now request that we play the citation for the institution.
On plot 774 along the Kampala-Fort Portal Highway in Mubende is the Ariana building. Ariana Glass Mart and Hardware SMC Limited was incorporated in February 2018 and deals in the supply of construction materials. The company makes tax contributions through various tax types, namely payee, withholding tax, corporation tax, and VAT. The company files and pays promptly her tax obligations as per statutory time limits. Several families earn their livelihood from Ariana Glass Mart as the company employs 10 full-time staff and a considerable number of casual workers. Ariana Glass Mart contributed over Uganda shillings 0.62 billion over the past 3 years, with a revenue growth of 153.6% over the same period. Records show that Ariana is one of the biggest contributors of value-added tax in the last financial year in Mubende district. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in congratulating Ariana Glass Mart and Hardware SMC Limited on winning this year's Vantage Award Midwestern for non-individual.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our recipient, Ariana. A big round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen. Ariana Glass Mart and Hardware from Midwestern, under the Vantage Midwestern category. We want to congratulate them and appreciate them for their compliance. And shortly after the Honorable Evelyn Anita makes one announcement, I'll invite our technical team to prepare the award for Northern Region. Can we once again appreciate Ariana? Congratulations.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Nabanja Robina, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Honorable Matia Kasaija, my father, the Permanent Secretary and Secretary of Treasury, the Commissioner General, my brother, the Board Chairman of Uganda Revenue Authority, the staff of Uganda Revenue Authority, our men and women of God, the religious leaders, I recognize you and thank you for the good work you're doing to win more souls for Christ. Our distinguished investors, ladies and gentlemen, my first statement is, let's put our hands and congratulate these taxpayers, our investors, for job well done. I sincerely congratulate you. Last year, I got the award for one of the best taxpayers in Northern Region. I was very proud. This year, I lagged behind, and therefore I congratulate you for scooping the award. But Commissioner General, I promise you that next year, I shall surely be back. It feels good to pay taxes, and especially when your taxes are put to use and in good use. And I want to say what the man of God who opened with the word of God said, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and that is biblical, and to God what belongs to God. And God loves a cheerful giver, and that's what I have added. So if you give taxes with all your heart and you give it without any grudging and complaining, I can assure you your blessings will double. And that's why today, you who is getting awarded, you can be sure that your business is going to grow in double digit. I do not want to give a long speech, but I want to just say that as government, and my senior minister there will re-echo the statement, that we truly, from the bottom of our hearts, appreciate the taxes that you pay. My message to Commissioner General and the team in URA, that I thank you for your excellency in your service, your commitment, that even now I see you arresting those who are corrupt and who try to embezzle money from investors and refuse to give the taxes. Thank you very much for doing that. However, I ask you tonight to broaden the tax base so that we don't see the same faces. There are so many people. It breaks my heart that you only have 3 million registered taxpayers and you're only talking about 1 million who actually are compliant. So we have to enforce the issue of tax compliance. Ladies and gentlemen, my final statement is an announcement to all of you who are investors that His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, is inviting you for a Presidential Investors Conference, which will take place on 29th of this month in Kololo. Please do come, because he wants to understand from you. It is just not a conference, it's a baraza, where you will be interacting with the President directly, and all the MDAs, including URA, shall be there to address your issues. I thank you very much for listening to me. God bless you. May you give more to your country and for the development and transformation of your country. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we appreciate the Honorable Evelyn Anite? As I invite Ms. Rose Wangwe and Ms. Victoria Navitaka to come and lead us through this next category of awards, we are doing the Vantage Awards for Northern Uganda. We'll have the citation for the individual recipient. Graphics.
In the great land of the elephant, Kitgum Municipality, Central Division hails one of the most compliant taxpayers, Mr. Richard Kanoponya Landa, with income sources that include employment income and rental income from commercial buildings. Over the years, Mr. Richard Kanoponya Landa has contributed to the rental sector and is employing many Ugandans in the area with consistency in payee remittances. He has consistently met his monthly and annual obligations on time and has undeniably influenced the tax compliance culture, not only with his peers, but the business community where he operates. Mr. Landa contributed Uganda shillings 0.04 billion with revenue growth of 226.3% over the past 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Mr. Richard Kanoponya Landa on winning this year's Vantage Award, Northern Region Individual.
I now invite a representative of the Chair of the Finance Committee of Parliament, the Honorable Haba Tayebwa, to come and award this category. Can we welcome him? A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Paying taxes is a civic duty.
And we want to congratulate Mr. Richard Kanoponya Landa, a recipient of the Vantage Award for Northern Uganda. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Roads and anymore. Better government salaries and anymore.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
gentlemen, please give them a round of applause.
Developing Uganda together, calling upon more and more taxpayers. We can
Growth in tax revenue of over 200%. We want to appreciate you, Mr. Richard and Obonya Landa, for your contribution to your country and to the national development of Uganda. I will then very shortly invite the video and citation for the institution under the Vantage Awards for Northern Uganda. Video, please.
In an effort to improve the education service delivery in northern Uganda, Bob Goff and other American best friends of Uganda established Restore Leadership High School in Keyo, Lualakwar Village, Lacho Parish, Lamoji Sub-County, Kilak South County, Amuru District. Located approximately 15 kilometers from Gulu City on the road to Elegu Nimule, the entity started on a small scale on 1st July 2012 as a secondary school, but rapidly expanded over the years. Additionally, the school now has nursery and primary sections and employs over 114 staff. The school is commended for timely and accurate filing of tax returns and payments contributing Uganda shillings 270 billion and a revenue growth of 44.7% over the past 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Restore Leadership High School Limited on winning this year's Vantage Award Northern Region Non-Individual.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will invite Dan Achsaka. They decided you need to be the one also to witness, since one of your team members wasn't here. Please come and witness this. As I invite our winner tonight, Restore Leadership High School. Please come. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Paying taxes is a civic duty. If only we come together to support our country, government can collect more money to support its objectives, building schools, roads, and many more. Better government salaries and many more. Thank you.
Congratulations, we want to thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Honorable Habatewa, thank you so much for representing the Chair of the Finance Committee of Parliament. I'll now invite Right Reverend Amos Magezi, the Bishop of Western Kole Diocese, to come. He will be awarding our next category of Vantage winners, and that is Southwestern. We will have Southwestern. May I invite Miss Irene Babazi and Mr. James Odong to come and witness on behalf of senior management team as these recipients are awarded. May we have the citation for Southwestern individual.
Bernard Mugarura, otherwise called Kaharata, conducts his business with an expert eye for detail. He will quickly tell you the price of any item in his stock or whether it is out of stock and when new stock is expected without batting an eye. Operating a hardware business requires quite the presence of mind to stay afloat in business. Mr. Bernard Mugarura has done this for decades, a testament to his business acumen and resilience while swimming casually in the space where many have drowned. Located in Kafunjo Cell, Northern B Ward, Eastern Division in Rukunjiri Municipality, Kaharata Hardware is a go-to place for all hardware materials in the region. Mr. Bernard Mugarura is registered for payee, VAT and income tax. Over the past 3 years, he has consistently posted a growth trajectory of 63.7%, contributing Uganda shillings 0.12 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Mr. Bernard Mugarura on winning this year's Vantage Award Southwestern Region Individual.
It's your duty as a citizen of Uganda. Sana Uganda Revenue Authority URA. Ekarunda nemishoro tukatunguri hangariye. Shashura mishoro yawe we amokuteganisiwa. Shashura muhire ofune na receipt yawe. Tombe chihanga, tombe chenyensya. Tutunguri hanga, shemerero munyensya. Let me say thank you. I walk shashwe mishoro ya URA. Nyamuhanga bless you. Mutungwiri hangari to Uganda.
Ladies and gentlemen, another big round of applause for Mr. Bernard Mugarra. We want to thank you for your contribution, and then I'll now ask the Tenko team to have the citation for the institution for Southwestern Uganda.
The lush green environs of Kisizi waterfalls are also home to arguably the most compliant human health and hospital services provider in the land. Located at Kisizi Hospital Cell, Kisizi Parish, Nyarushanje Sub-County, Rubabo County, Rukunjiri District, Kisizi Hospital is a symbol of hope to both the community and the nation at large. Established 65 years ago and founded under the auspices of the Church of Uganda, Kisizi Hospital is truly a burning candle of hope to the community. Guided by the Bible verse John 10:10, life in all its fullness, Kisizi Hospital truly represents this fullness. While providing services for the most vulnerable, including the mentally ill, children with disabilities and neonates, the hospital contributes to the revenue basket of the nation, registering year-on-year revenue growth. The taxpayer has contributed over Uganda shillings 1.72 billion in taxes over the past 3 years, and its revenue has grown at an average of 17.7% over the same period. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Church of Uganda, Kisizi Hospital, on winning this year's Vantage Award Southwestern Region Non-Individual.
Tombe chihanga, tombe chenyensya. Tutunguri hanga, shemerero munyensya. Kobo muhinje, kobo murisa, kobo weduka. Kobo mushubuzi, ninga kapuni. Manyo mushoro kwawe.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we congratulate Ladies and gentlemen, may we once again congratulate the Church of Uganda, Kisizi Hospital. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. I will appreciate the Right Reverend Amos Magezi. We want to thank you for supporting this category. Allow me transition to West Nile, where we are inviting another man of God, the Right Reverend Godfrey Luwum, to come and award this next category. Right Reverend Godfrey Luwum, Bishop of Northern Uganda, to come and award this category, as I also invite Mr. Emmanuel Bichetero and Mr. Matthew Mugabe from URA to witness this set of awards from West Nile, Vantage Awards West Nile. We'll start with our individual recipient.
Mr. Kemis Yunus is a registered rental taxpayer with a property in Arua City along Adumi Road. This property currently houses 5 businesses. he was registered for rental tax in October 2016. Over the years, Mr. Kemis Yunus has exhibited a high degree of compliance with the prompt filing of returns as well as timely remittance of tax by the due dates. Mr. Kemis Yunus has contributed Uganda shillings 0.04 billion with revenue growth of 1% over the past 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Mr. Kemis Yunus on winning this year's Vantage Award West Nile Region Individual.
Paying taxes is a civic duty. If only we come together to support our country, government can collect more money to support its objectives, building schools, roads, and many more. Better government salaries and many more.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Kemis Yunus, our recipient from West Nile, the Vantage Awards. And we'll now run the citation for the institution in West Nile.
In the heart of Arua City on Plot 47 Adumi Road is the head office of Noble Unit Uganda Limited, overseeing 6 branches across 5 districts of northern Uganda. The company was incorporated under the directorship of Mr. Ahmed Adaku in September 2012 for the provision of financial services. Noble Unit Uganda Limited has made a significant contribution to Uganda through enhancing access to microfinance services. It employs 152 staff and contributes about Uganda shillings 25 million monthly under payee. Noble Unit Uganda Limited contributed over Uganda shillings 0.61 billion in taxes with a growth of 37% over the past 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Noble Unit Uganda Limited on winning this year's Vantage Award West Nile Region Non-Individual.
Paying taxes is a civic duty. If only we come together to support our country, government can collect more money to support its objectives, building schools, roads, and many more. Better government salaries and many more. Thank you.
Congratulations, Noble Unit Uganda Limited. From URA, we appreciate your compliance. And you're the recipients of the Vantage Awards West Nile category for the institutions. We'll now transition to Northeastern. And I want to thank Right Reverend Godfrey Luum for accepting to hand over this category of West Nile. We'll now move to Northeastern. Allow me to invite 2 very powerful men of God, but I will begin with Pastor Robert Kayanja. The very first award for Northern Uganda Individual will be awarded by Pastor Robert Kayanja. And our very own Bishop Rele will award the institution under Northeastern Uganda. So I will begin with the citation for individual under Northeastern Vantage Awards.
In the land of the wise men, on Plot 2 Elangot Road in Soroti City, is a hotel and accommodation business owned by Mr. Ogera Ojabal Wilbur. He is not only a seasoned businessman in Soroti, but has some business interests in Kampala as well. In 2022, he opened another establishment, Avi Point Lions, adjacent to the Soroti Flying School Academy. The business is contributing toward the development of the nation, and as an individual, Mr. Ogera has always submitted accurate declarations and made on-time payments. He is single-handedly changing the tax atmosphere in the region by contributing the highest amount of direct tax amongst all individuals. Mr. Ogera contributed Uganda shillings 120 million with a revenue growth of 16% over the past 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Mr. Ogera Ochabal Wilburn on winning this year's Vantage Award Individual for Northeastern Region.
And I'll also invite Ms. Diana Chisaka to come and witness this on behalf of URA as we put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Ogera Ochabal. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Paying taxes is a civic duty. If only we come together to support our country, government can collect more money to support its objectives, building schools, roads, and many more. Better government salaries and many more.
Congratulations, Mr. Ogera. URA appreciates you, Uganda appreciates you for your contribution. And this is how you build the spirit of the youngest entrepreneur. You come with your son to build the culture of continuity. We want to appreciate you, Mr. Ogera. Thank you so much. Can we appreciate them once again, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much, Pastor Robert Kayanja. I'll invite Bishop Royle to come and also invite from URA Ms. Ishta Chambade, who will join Bishop Royle in this next category as we invite the citation for the institution under Northeastern.
Give Directly is an international not-for-profit organization incorporated in the United States of America. It was registered and incorporated to operate as a non-governmental organization in Uganda on August 23, 2013. The organization's mission is to reduce poverty by providing financial assistance directly to the extremely poor and allowing them to choose where they invest with a focus on efficiency and using technology. Give Directly identifies poor households, confirms their eligibility, helps them register for a digital payment system, sends funds, and follows up with recipients post-transfer. The NGO is commended for its voluntary compliance with timely and accurate declarations and payments. The NGO has over the past 3 years contributed Uganda shillings 4.8 billion, posting a consistent growth in revenue of 83.9% over the same period. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Give Directly on winning this year's Vantage Award Northeastern Non-Individual.
We welcome Give Directly, representative of Give Directly. Can we welcome them, ladies and gentlemen, for continuing to give directly to the people of Uganda?
Paying taxes is
From
a
URA and
civic
the
duty.
people of Uganda to you
If
for being
only
compliant. We
we come
congratulate
together
you.
to support our country, government can collect more money to support its objectives, building schools, roads, and many more. Better government salaries and many more. Thank you.
Right, Honorable Prime Minister, that was our very first batch of awards, and I want to request the taxpayers in this room and all our delegates to give a round of applause for all the recipients of our first batch of awards. Thank you, Bishop Rede, for awarding our winner in this category under institutions. I want to quickly transition to our next speaker this morning or early afternoon. Our keynote speaker this afternoon is none other than the Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury. We put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Ramadan Gobi, who is coming to give us a keynote address. And we welcome you, sir. On behalf of URA, we want to appreciate you for joining us. Please note his Gobi, not Ngobi, right? Can we do this again? Ramadan Gobi. All right, there you go. I got it this time, sir.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Honorable Members of Parliament, the clergy, the Chairman of URA Board and board members present, the Commissioner General of URA and all your team, all the government officials are present, and most importantly, our main celebrants of this morning, the members of private sector that pay the taxes and we get revenue and be what we are as a state. Today is a very important day for Uganda Revenue Authority and for my ministry in general, since it gives us the opportunity to express government's appreciation and gratitude to each taxpayer in our nation. It's therefore a privilege and honor for me to participate in today's ceremonies and to have a first-hand and personal interaction with each of you, the people who invest and work hard every single day to grow our economy, but also diligently pay the taxes, without which government cannot have the resources to deliver its mandate. Your contribution to this economy has seen Uganda's revenue collections consistently increase from 134 billion shillings in 1990-91 financial year, when URA was created in 1991. Before it collected its first revenue, government collected 134 billion shillings. Last year, financial year 22-23, URA collected 25.567 trillion shillings. And as a percentage of GDP, we have seen this growing from 5% of GDP to 14% over the same period. The current level of revenue collection is an indication of a lot of progress we've made, although it remains below the regional peers and also below our estimated potential of between 18 to 20% of the GDP. I want to recognize each taxpayer and your contribution to the growth and development of our country. Your commitment in the form of fulfilling your civic duty facilitates the government to function and deliver the numerous programs and initiatives that uplift our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to highlight a few achievements that we've registered as a country as a result of your ability to fulfill this civic duty of paying taxes. In the education sector, government has used your taxes to provide free primary and secondary school education through universal primary education and universal secondary education programs. In addition, we have been able to provide free education to excellent performers in the numerous fields at various tertiary institutions. Government has invested in training teachers, tutors and lecturers, but also in providing loans to some of those other students who are not lucky enough to be on government sponsorship in higher institutions of learning to get money, get the education, and then pay after graduation. We have been able to provide scholastic materials to all the children of Uganda, laboratories for scientists, and textbooks, all learning materials for all learners. This has resulted in improved literacy levels. When I checked, literacy has improved now to over 76% of Ugandans from 43% in 1997. I have also checked and found that 90% of the parishes in Uganda now have a primary school. Each of the parishes in 90% of the country has a primary school. 92% of the sub-counties have a secondary school. These schools have been built using the money collected by URA. We have also seen increased supply of skilled labor across the country and beyond, which is a critical requirement for economic transformation. In the health sector, government has invested your taxes in the construction, rehabilitation, and equipping of health centers and referral hospitals, thus facilitating Ugandans to access free health care in all the government health facilities, and government has also invested your taxes in employing the relevant personnel as clinical officers, nurses, and midwives. And recently, we enhanced their pay, again using your tax revenue. We have also invested in access to safe and clean water for Ugandans using your taxes. And all of these have resulted in improved life indicators. To mention just a few, life expectancy, the number of years every Ugandan expects to live, have increased from 44 years in 1998 to 63 years in 2022. Now, anyone in this room who is below 62 years, you still have almost guaranteed life up to 63 years. Those who are 63, you want bonus. The life expectancy is about 63 years now. We have come a long, long way. And it's because of these resources collected by URA from you, Ugandans. We have managed to reduce infant mortality rate from 43 deaths per 1,000 lives birth in 2016, just recently, to now 36 in 2022. And most importantly, we've reduced the maternal mortality rate from 506 mothers of every 100,000 live births in 1987 to now only 189 of the 100,000 mothers in 2023. Government has also invested in infrastructure development and also maintenance of infrastructure, which is the enabler of Uganda's industrialization agenda, and also a catalyst for employment creation, wealth creation, as well as all of those other performance indicators I've already mentioned. These infrastructure developments include the transport infrastructure, particularly roads, where the percentage of the paved roads has improved from just 8%, about 1,000 kilometers of paved road in early 1990s, to 22% of the total national road network, about over 60,000 kilometers now. They are paved because of the money you pay. Some people actually, when we say this, sometimes they say, no, we are borrowing the money. Some of this infrastructure. When we borrow this money, we pay back using the tax revenue. So you pay the money. We have also constructed and modernized our airports, water and railways, energy sources, particularly the hydroelectric power stations, and ICT infrastructure. These public investments have lessened the cost of doing business, increased the efficiency with which Uganda accesses regional and global markets, in addition to increasing interconnectivity of Uganda. So I'm alluding to all of these in front of you and our leaders. When I was thinking, when URA invited me to do a keynote speech, I wanted to let you know that beyond just these numbers we read, the taxes that you pay, they are the reason why this state is able to provide all of these services to you. So your taxes have been invested in maintaining the peace and stability by strengthening the capacity of government to provide the same, and also in protecting our national borders, protecting the lives of the people and their property, in maintaining land order, and in effective handling of all emergencies, including those which are sophisticated now, cyber crimes and so on. This is important in ensuring a conducive business environment in which the economy now can be able to flourish. We have also been able to use the tax revenue paid to kickstart the full monetization of the economy by getting the population at the base of the pyramid to join the monetized economy. Ladies and gentlemen, government is investing in so many strategic areas of the economy. In the oil and gas, we are expanding the services sector. We are promoting science and technology, and all of these interventions are because of the revenues that we collect from you. The Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development and the government in general are committed to continuing investing in improvement of the systems and processes with a view of ensuring that the money which you pay goes to better use. There is value for money. And with that, we are automating government. We have fully automated the financial systems. We are now automating the procurement systems. And we are also automating the administration within government, such that we can remove all of those possibilities of human interaction. That's why URA has been able to improve the tax revenue collection, because it automated the systems. The same we are doing with the rest of government everywhere. So we want to assure you that we are going to be able to ease doing business in Uganda and improve the competitiveness of your businesses so that the economy can be able to flourish. You make money and you also contribute to the development of your country. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, as every speaker I've listened to was saying, paying taxes is a noble cause, and therefore, as we navigate the challenges which we have been facing and preparing for the uncertainties, I urge you to continue with this noble cause of contributing to the development of the country. Recently, research told me, some researchers, that our public expenditure in Uganda is still relatively low in most sectors. And this is mainly because of low tax effort. So it's an area which, if we need to see better services, we should also be aware that we need to improve on the contribution to that by getting more revenue. You will all note that the prosperity of Uganda will depend on how much we contribute to the revenue which government needs to invest in the various sectors of the economy. I want to end by commending URA for the visible progress we are making in collecting revenue, but also going forward to task ourselves to be more deliberate, to actualize the broadening of the tax base, such that we have more people contributing to the development of their country. And I should say, with all the strategies we are putting in place and working together, the future is very bright. I thank you very much.
Can we give the PSST another round of applause? Thank you, Mr. Ramadan Gobi. The next set of awards, PSST, will be for you to award to our Vantage Award recipients from Central Region. I want to invite Mr. Richard Karisa and Asad Situ to come and witness this particular category on behalf of management team. Mr. Asad Situ and Mr. Richard Karisa, please come. This set will, as we did previously, start with the individual category and then move to the institution. May we have the citation for the individual under the central category?
Philips Pharmaceutical Limited is located along 5th Street in the industrial area in Nakawa Division that deals in the importation and distribution of pharmaceutical products. On Madivani Foundation building along Ginger Road is Star Pharmaceutical Limited. Behind these two huge entities is a gentleman, Mr. Dashan Mehta Mukesh, a man with great business acumen who commenced business in 2018. The two entities employ a combined total of 171 employees and have contributed a total of Uganda shilling 7 billion in income tax, withholding tax, payee and VAT in the financial year 2022-2023. Mr. Mukesh has contributed over Uganda shillings 0.72 billion in individual income tax, with revenue growth of 12,374% over the past 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Join us in congratulating Mr. Dashan Mehta Mukesh on receiving this year's Vantage Award for Central Region Individual category.
Surely we can do better than that as we invite Mukesh to join us. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
The children are going to school for free. Roads have been constructed. Ebyobulimi bitutumuse obutale webuli. Abakyala tebakyazaalira mu mbeera mbi ng'ey'edda.
We have electricity. Businesses are being supported. Uganda Airlines ekomyewo. I'm proud to be Ugandan.
Celebrate the team. They are representing Mr. Mukesh. Can we have you in the middle here? So we have the vantage position to take some very beautiful photos. Congratulations to the team. They are representing Mr. Mukesh Dashan Mehta Mukesh. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Uganda Revenue Authority.
And now we'll have the citation for the institution under the Central Region.
Mildmay Uganda Institute of Health Sciences is a Christian-based organization that has been in existence since 1998. The Institute's aim is to inspire people to be part of the next generation of highly skilled critical thinkers shaping the world around us in years to come. It was founded by Mildmay Uganda, the Center of Excellence for HIV Education and Research. The establishment not only looks after the welfare of citizens, but is playing a role in the development of the nation through meeting its statutory tax obligations. Mildmay Uganda Institute is a compliant taxpayer who has filed and paid taxes amounting to Uganda shillings 2.11 billion over the past 3 years, while registering a 95% growth in revenue over the same period. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in congratulating Mildmay Uganda Institute of Health Sciences on winning this year's Vantage Award Central Region under the non-individual category.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we appreciate our recipients, the Mildmay Institute of Health Sciences? Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you, Mildmay.
The children are going to school for free. Roads have been constructed. Ebyobulimi bitutumuse obutale webuli. Abakyala tebakyazaalira mu mbeera mbi ng'ey'edda.
We have electricity. Businesses are being supported.
Congratulations, Mildmay.
I'm proud to be Ugandan. We celebrate you. Oh, we celebrate you. Taxpayers of Uganda. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Uganda together.
Mukoze omulimo. Mwebale kusasula. Tusime mwebale nnyo.
Paying your taxes.
Honorable Minister, it's now
Authority.
my pleasure to invite you to address the taxpayers. Thank you.
And paying taxes is a civic duty. If only we come together to support our country, government can collect more money to support its objectives, building schools, roads, and many more. Better government salaries and many more.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The right Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, our religious leaders present, the chief executives of various leading taxpaying entities, our development partners, heads of government and parastatals, the chairman of URA board of directors and the members, the Commissioner General, URA senior management and staff, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Is it still morning? No. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. It is by God's grace that we are here today. And we are privileged to have religious leaders with us here and who have prayed for us. We glorify his name because despite the many economic and social and political disruptions that have threatened the socio-economic progress of our motherland, we are still standing here alive. We thank God for the gift of life and the resilience we have exhibited in our different fields. And above all, we thank God for the revenue contributions made by our economic heroes, that is the taxpayers, and the development partners to enable us to achieve the National Development Plan strategies. In that spirit, today, we are recognizing the remarkable top 22 resilient taxpayers who have steadily honored their civic duty of continuously complying to pay taxes efficiently, effectively, and contributing to continuous economic growth and development. You heard my permanent secretary say, we need taxes as a government to provide security so that you live comfortably, and even the business people, for you to be sure that your business is going up. We need taxes to do roads so that your trade, the cost of business becomes cheaper. We need taxes for electricity. We need taxes for water. We need taxes for building schools and hospitals to sustain you in a healthy form and enjoy the business you are operating. Anybody who is in a budget bracket and does not does not pay his or her tax is an enemy of himself or herself. There is no way you will enjoy. Those of us who have lived in this country for some time, there are some of us who, in the eras of the 60s and early 70s, who could not move, who could not go to a nightclub, who could not walk with a beautiful girl. Yes, because I can give you a case where somebody was shot dead because he was having a beautiful girlfriend. Now, that is history. So I'm appealing, therefore, that paying taxes, first, is noble. You are helping yourself and helping others. Let us remind ourselves of the target performance for financial 22-23. The budget strategy for financial year 22-23 focused on industrialization, for inclusive growth, employment, wealth, and effort to raise Uganda's per capita income from $936 to $1,049 and improve the quality of life for every Ugandan, as I've said. A number of economic growth opportunities and priorities aligned with the long-term aspiration of liberating Uganda from dependence were laid out. These include boosting exports through the development of trade and market infrastructure, operationalization of one-stop border posts, restoration of socio-economic activity through increased access to capital for individuals, reinstating business activity through different fiscal and monetary measures like MIOGA, PDM, and other financing schemes. We have endeavored to achieve these, although with hurdles as elaborated below. The current economic environment. The government acknowledges the economic hardships that have persisted over the years, but I'm happy to know that amidst the economic distresses, you, our economic heroes, have helped to sustain the economy through your continuous tax contributions. We are still standing and promisingly improving. Timutia, the economy is still strong, and we are moving. One of the major hitches being experienced by many businesses is delayed government payment to suppliers. This has caused liquidity issues in the economy, and as such, many of you have struggled to stay afloat, especially when, in such scenarios, the URA demands their fair share of taxes. We are working in consultation with the URA and have introduced some new process improvements, e.g. EFRIS, to address the issue. We are also cognizant of the climate change factors that have adversely affected the agricultural sector. Since our country is primarily driven by agriculture, a reduction in on-farm production affects, for example, our exports to regional and international markets, affecting our foreign earnings. The agricultural sector generates approximately 24% of our GDP, accounting for more than half of the country's export earnings. In comparison, over 70% of working age group are employed in this sector. As such, the government aims to support farmers who are producing major forex earners for sustainability. Besides the above factors, we have also seen challenges around business enablers in the environment, such as the prolonged fuel crisis and price increase in things like electricity. An increase in fuel and electricity prices adversely affects consumption, affecting profitability. When the bottom lines of businesses' performance are affected downwards, URA will fetch less, causing a strain on our taxpayers. Due to the above challenges, the country registered a slow GDP growth rate of 4.6% in financial year 21-22. However, for financial 22-23, we achieved a growth rate of 5.2%. The slow growth is attributed to the adverse effects of above challenges that I have mentioned above, in, for example, for agriculture and manufacturing and general trade. But because today we boast of improvements in total tax collections from last year, it is in order to celebrate with a toast to the contributors to the national fund, that is you, our esteemed taxpayers. You are indeed heroes. We sing praises to you and commit to supporting you accordingly in the journey of fostering and reinforcing voluntary compliance. Thank you very much. Now, on a positive note, to our delight, I wish to report that one of the key sectors that was adversely hit by COVID-19 pandemic, the tourism sector, has performed so well compared to what was envisaged. Whereas the recovery of the sector was thought to happen after 5 years, I am excited to report that 2 years later, we are back to our previous standing, and all indicators and reports from players in this industry indicate that we are steadily gaining momentum. We acknowledge a good revenue contribution from this sector. Uganda Revenue Authority has had a good revenue results registered so far, performing at 98%. URA managed to collect 21.66 trillion in financial 2021-22, registering a 12.4% revenue growth and tax to GDP of 13%. Thank you, URA. But thank you, URA. But you remember those of you who read some little literature like me, we need more. My ministry commits to support URA in your mandate, totally. As I conclude my remarks, I once again thank our taxpayers and development partners for your contribution and efforts towards freeing Uganda from donor dependency. Literally, as the Waganda say, kamu kamu gwe Muganda. Literally translated as one by one makes a bundle. The task join efforts to sustain our economy and propel ourselves to greater heights. With these remarks, I wish you an enriching celebration and fruitful deliberations. With these so many words, it's my great pleasure to invite the Honorable...
Honorable Minister, not yet. Just a minute, just 1 minute. As we prepare the Prime Minister, allow me request that you award the next recipients. Then you invite the Prime Minister.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So we will quickly move to our next set, which is Kampala Metro. Ladies and gentlemen, and the Honorable Minister will award this category. I want to invite Mr. Abel Kagumire and Dennis Kugonza, who will handle this very category, Kampala Metro, to receive our recipients. May we have the citation for Kampala Metro individual.
Mr. Chitan Kumar Datani, trading as Ark Apartments, is located on Tufnell Drive in Kamocha, Kampala Central, Kampala District, next to Kamocha, Sindhi Ganpati Temple. He operates a sole proprietorship, dealing in real estate activities, that is accommodation on a fee or contract basis. Datani was registered in August 2009 for various tax types, namely income tax rental, and VAT. The taxpayer is very responsive to change and has recently been trained on the Electronic Fiscal Receipting and Invoicing System, IFRIS, opting for the web portal option given the limited transactions they carry out under the VAT tax head. Mr. Chitan Kumar Datani contributed over Uganda shillings 0.62 billion over the past 3 years, with a revenue growth of 6.5% over the same period. The taxpayer is recognized for being one of the biggest contributors to individual income tax and rental tax income in the last financial year. He consistently files and pays taxes to URA. Ladies and gentlemen, join us to congratulate Mr. Chitan Kumar Datani on winning this year's Vantage Award, Kampala Metro Region, under the individual category.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we receive Mr. Chetan Kumar Datani, Kampala Metro recipient under the Vantage Awards. He's here representing. So we welcome you and thank you so much for your contribution on behalf of URA. We want to thank you for your contribution. Thank you so much. All right, Honorable Minister, you'll hand over. All right. Can we give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? They also receive a certificate as we introduce the citation for the institution under Kampala Metro.
In the upscale neighborhood of East Naguru Road, on plot 32, lies the head office of Uzima Chicken Limited. The company was incorporated in June 2018 and deals in day-old chicks and poultry feeds. Uzima Chicken Limited was formed as a branch of Uzima Chicken Rwanda. Uzima Chicken is registered for 2 tax types, namely payee and income tax. The company is currently dealing with the smallholder farmers in the rural districts while contributing to the development of Uganda by promoting income growth. They have also provided employment directly to 186 staff, while commission-based individuals are around 200. The company contributes Uganda shillings 76 million per month under payee. Uzima Chicken has contributed over 2.34 billion over a period of 3 years, with revenue growth of 42.3% over the same period. Uzima Chicken Limited is commended for being responsive to change and always seeking guidance from the URA, which has contributed to their positive compliance levels. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in congratulating Uzima Chicken Limited on winning this year's Vantage Award, Kampala Metro Non-Individual.
We want to welcome Uzima Chicken Limited and congratulate them on this category, Kampala Metro, for institutions and corporate organizations. Can we once again, ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause? We'll now quickly transition to the medium taxpayer. In this category, I will introduce this citation that will run as the very last award the Honorable Minister will be giving out. Medium taxpayer.
Education Development Center Incorporated is one of the largest revenue contributors under the Medium Taxpayers Office, making an average contribution of over Uganda shillings 350 million per month. Located at Plot 3 to 5, Block B, Nakawa Business Park, Port Bell Road, Nakawa, Kampala. The entity is registered as a non-governmental organization providing education services. Education Development Center Incorporated commenced business on December 23, 2020 and is registered for income tax, WHT and payee. The entity is up to date with all compliance parameters, filing returns and paying tax in time. Education Development Center Incorporated currently employs about 333 Ugandans with a monthly wage bill of about Uganda shillings 1.4 billion, thereby directly contributing toward national development. The center has cumulatively contributed Uganda shillings 8.3 billion over the past 3 years, with a revenue growth of 437.1% over the same period. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Education Development Center Incorporated on winning this year's Vantage Award for Medium Taxpayers Office.
All right, congratulations as I invite Ms. Sarah Chelengat to come and witness this category, our medium taxpayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them another round of applause. Education Development Center. Ms. Sarah Chelengat, please witness This, yes. There you go. Congratulations once again. Education Development Center Incorporated. And they will receive their certificate, Honorable Minister, also. Please give them their certificate. This was the medium taxpayers category under the Vantage Awards. We have a few more awards to give out tonight, which the Right Honorable Prime Minister will give out after her speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Excel Awards will be coming up immediately after the Prime Minister's remarks. I now welcome the Honorable Minister to invite our chief guest.
Before I invite the chief guest, just give me a minute. When I was growing in the villages, you know, for you to be a man, you have to show your ticket where you have paid tax. And if you didn't have that tax certificate, you would not get to a beer party and drink. They would regard you as a small child. So, please, let us pay our taxes so that we all are regarded as useful Ugandans. You should walk with your chest up like this if you have paid your taxes as they followed you. If you don't, then now there is now even a law now. If you don't pay your taxes, something that is not right may come to you through the law enforcement, and we hate that one. With this, Mama, it is my great pleasure to come and address us. Thank you.
The children are going to school for free. Roads have been constructed. Ebyobulimi bitutumuse obutale webuli. Abakyala tebakyazaalira mu mbeera mbi ng'ey'edda.
The Honorable Minister of Finance, Honorable Matia Kasaija, our religious leaders, members of parliament, PSST, representatives from the Ministry of Finance Planning and Economic Development, the Commissioner General URA, and your team, the business people present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Greetings and best wishes from His Excellency the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. He knows that we are here at this time. He truly appreciates your support, especially you, the taxpayers, that has made us reach where we are. And thank you so much. I'm truly honored to preside over the Taxpayer Appreciation Season Gala event under the theme, Celebrating the Economic Heroes of Uganda. Everyone here and many others are heroes. Mwekubire mungalo. Clap for yourselves. I thank the management and staff of Uganda Revenue Authority who conceived this idea of not only appreciating the taxpayers through mere words, but also choosing to take action through a series of events marking the taxpayers' appreciation season. I'm well informed that a number of activities have taken place over a month.
including the annual Thanksgiving event, the launch of URA digital transformation journey, the authorized economic operator 10-year anniversary, the launch of URA regional office in Masaka, and the URA Service Excellence Week, among others. John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, said that, and I quote, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." I urge the management and staff of URA to live by what you have exhibited to us during this season. Your selflessness of service does not end by holding events, but also by showing the public a service-related approach in all you do. Distinguished guests, whereas it is the duty of government through URA to collect taxes, this duty gives the government an obligation to account for its activities, accept responsibilities for them, and show the results in a transparent way. The taxpayer should know how their money is being used. And indeed, they should have a right to demand services from us, the government. This is a key element of governance, accountability, and service delivery to the public. As Prime Minister and leader of government business, I want to assure you that the government is committed to supporting you by ensuring that the revenue collected is properly utilized. I'm aware that URA is moving to promote a service-oriented organization. I expect effective service to the public, irrespective of status. And I also call on taxpayers to play their role effectively by paying their taxes on time. This, I expect, will rhyme with this year's taxpayer appreciation season goal of fostering and reinforcing voluntary compliance. Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, there are challenges in tax administration, just as any institution would face. But challenges make us stronger as we stride through them, overcome them, and learn lessons from them. The government will always be supportive to every venture URA undertakes. As we climax the taxpayer appreciation season, there is no better time than now to appreciate compliant taxpayers and reposition URA as a business partner. I wish to congratulate the Taxpayer Appreciation 2023 awardees for their vigilance in ensuring that they pay tax in the right amounts and on time, in an effective manner, contributing to the continuous economic growth and development of this country. Your contribution is much appreciated, and you are an inspiration to others. You are indeed the men and women building Uganda. Your tax compliance provides a beacon of hope to those beginning businesses and also our young ones whom we anticipate to emulate from you. You heard our PSST talk about what government has so far done. He gave us figures, which figures I don't want to repeat here. He told you that we have connected this country on tarmac roads from north to south, east to west, to mention but one. I also want to thank the Ministry of Finance for offering oversight and guidance, an obligation the nation cannot do without. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot celebrate the many significant achievements URA has embraced this year without acknowledging and applauding the contribution of the NRM government under the able leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa, the President of the Republic of Uganda. For unequaled support and the guidance that he has offered to the tax administration. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, it is incumbent on each one of us here today and those watching and listening to me on various fora to play our individual roles in complying with the tax laws and paying taxes due on time. We will end donor and debt dependence and increase self-reliance if we pay our taxes. The Holy Bible in the book of Romans chapter 13, verse 6 to 7, St. Paul writes that that is also why you pay taxes, because the authorities are working for God when they fulfill their duties. Pay then what you owe it to them. Pay your taxes and the government fees to those who collect them. And show respect and honor to those in authority. I thank you for inviting me and for listening to me, for God and my country.
Can we give the Right Honorable Prime Minister another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Our chief guest, we have the big awards for tonight, the Excel Awards, and the only three, the second runners-up, the first runners-up and the winner this afternoon. I want to invite our technical team to begin the citation of the second runners-up.
Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited is a 70-year-old commercial bank rendering banking services in Uganda since 1953. Presently, the The bank offers its services through 17 branches, 12 ATMs, and 8 cash recyclers across the country, catering to the needs of Ugandan customers and the Indian diaspora. Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited was the first financial institution to be listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange in 2002, fostering robust growth for its shareholders. The bank extends its services through a full range of products and digital banking channels. The bank is compliant with 100% filing ratios for monthly tax returns of payee, local excise duty, VAT, and withholding tax. The bank employs 222 employees, directly contributing over Uganda shillings 452 million monthly as payee. The taxpayer has contributed over Uganda shillings 106.8 billion in taxes over the past 3 years, and revenue has grown at an average of 12.4% over the same period. The taxpayer has also been very supportive of domestic tax administration initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited for attaining the second runners-up position under the Excel Award 2023.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Bank of Baroda as I invite Mr. Brian Ajuna and James Malenzi from URA to witness the award of our second runners-up, Bank of Baroda, for the Excel Awards category. We want to appreciate the Bank of Baroda. Thank you so much for your contribution to the tax best. And this is from Uganda Revenue Authority on this 17th Appreciation Awards. And we celebrate you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give them another round of applause?
Uganda Revenue Authority, thanks you for being taxi. Developing Uganda together, calling upon more and more taxpayers. We can do better together if we care. Together we can do repair.
Congratulations, Bank of Baroda. And we'll now transition to our first runners-up. I invite from the URA, Mrs. Stella Nyampendi, who will witness this on behalf of the management team, to come as we run the citation for the first runners-up.
When it comes to the gaming sector, Chop Gaming Limited is the #1 compliant taxpayer, contributing to a big share of revenue. Formerly known as Intel World, Chop Gaming was the first to integrate with the National Central Monitoring System and meets all its monthly and annual tax obligations. The taxpayer has contributed over Uganda shillings 144 billion in taxes over the past 3 years, and its revenue has grown at an average of 606% over the same period. Their management team engages with URA for insights geared towards improving the sector compliance levels. Chop Gaming Limited has been at the forefront of ensuring timely payments to its punters and is regarded as the most reliable betting and gaming platform. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in congratulating Chop Gaming Limited, trading as Bet Power, as the first runners-up under the Excel Award.
Do we have a representative from Chop Bet? Yes, please come. All right, Right Honorable, chopping in the Nigerian language is eating money. So the chop betting has been chopping our money through betting. But we are glad they are bringing back some of the money they are chopping. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Chop Betting.
Developing Uganda together, calling upon more and more.
Congratulations, Chop Betting. We'll now turn, Right Honorable Prime Minister, we are going to the big one. Our winner at this 17th Appreciation Awards ceremony. Our winner tonight, may we run the citation, but before that I want to invite Habat. Yes, Prime. Can we have the mic on, the Prime Minister's microphone, please? Yes.
I request the Minister of Finance, URA and PSST to join me in this big one.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable, for guiding, as you do always with government business. I want to invite Mr. Habat Rusoke and Charles Moa to come. You will, on behalf of URA, appreciate these partners together with the chair of the board, the minister, the PSST, and the Commissioner General. May we have the citation for our winner this afternoon.
Coca-Cola Beverages Uganda Limited, CCBUL, manufactures, sells, and distributes soft drink products. CCBUL is a product of a merger between Renzori Beverages Limited and Century Bottling Company Limited. In February 2023, the company commissioned a state-of-the-art water treatment plant in Namamve to meet its market demand. Their filing ratios are at 100% for all the tax heads they are registered for, namely payee, LED, VAT, and WHT. The company has contributed over Uganda shillings 319 billion in taxes over the past 3 years, with revenue growing at an average of 197% over the same period. The company employs 956 employees directly, contributing over Uganda shillings 1.1 billion monthly as payee. Coca-Cola is not change averse, and when the digital tracking solution and the electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution IFRIS were introduced, they were among the early adopters. They are commended for being responsive to change and always seeking guidance from the URA, which has contributed to their positive compliance levels. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in congratulating Coca-Cola Beverages Uganda Limited on winning this year's Excel Award.
Coca-Cola team. And right honorable, you can see that Coca-Cola is being represented by women. Can we give them another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen?
Government can collect more money to support its objectives, building schools, roads, and many more. Better government salaries and many more. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, we cannot do without you. Uganda revenue will go with it. Thanks you, thanks you. For being taxi.
Developing Uganda together, calling upon more and more taxpayers. We can do better together if we care. Together we can do repair. Taxpayer, nobody loves Uganda like you care.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Coca-Cola.
Build a better Uganda.
Thank you.
All right, I'll request our chief guest to remain with the team you invited. I want to invite both Baroda and Chop to come back for a group photo with the Prime Minister and the Honorable Minister and the CG. Chop, Gaming, and Baroda, please come. And then we'll have all the other representatives, the medium and the other categories from the region to join in the next photograph. So this one is for our big taxpayers, the compliant ones under the Excel Awards. Chop and Baroda, please join them. All right. I want to prepare all the recipients under the regional categories. You will come with a word. Please send one representative, just one representative from each of the institutions and individuals who won the award. So our next photo is with all the regional winners. Please send one representative. the institution, and the individual. Just one representative. Please come with your awards. Please, please. Thank you very much, Baroda, Coca-Cola, and Chop Gaming. Thank you so much. You can take your seats. I'll request the Prime Minister and the team to stay. We are only getting the regional winners. They're coming to join us. Yes. Okay, please, Prime Minister, before they leave. The Prime Minister has a statement to make on Coca-Cola. The microphone, please.
Now that Coca-Cola is one of the biggest taxpayers, why don't we support them by drinking their products? Those in favor say aye. The ayes have it.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Coca-Cola once again, our winners of this 17th Appreciation Awards ceremony. Thank you, Coca-Cola. You can take your seats. I'll keep the Prime Minister here and the Minister just for one extra photo. Coca-Cola, thank you. You can make your way, Coca-Cola. The individual photos, Chairman, please join as we invite the regional winners. Please come. Just a representative of the institution and the individuals. So I'll have individuals first. All the individuals, you know yourselves, please come. All our winners, the individuals with your award, and the institutions will be next.
Going to school for free. Roads have been constructed.
Our regional winners, Northern, Western, Central, Midwestern, and of course our special awardees today, individual, and then we'll do the institutions after this. So these, right on about our winners under the regional category. All right. So these are the individuals. We'll then have the institutions after that. So individuals, yes. And then we'll have the institutions immediately after that. So institutional representatives, come closer. Come closer. Immediately after this, the chief guest will cut the cake to mark, of course, the highlight of our celebration tonight. And then we'll have the anthems and allow for the Prime Minister to turn to state duties. As you're aware, she's a very busy person, and we'll allow her to depart as we invite you to lunch. Thank you very much, individual winners. May we have the institutions now? Institutions, please come very quickly. Institutions. This is the very final one before we ask our chief guest to cut our cake on this Taxpayer Appreciation Awards Day. These are the institutions, Right Honorable, that today were awarded under the different regions. We appreciate these institutions for their compliance. Our chief guest, these are the compliant winning taxpayer institutions for this financial year and this edition of the Taxpayer Award ceremony. So we want to appreciate them. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give them another round of applause? All right, thank you very much. I will now request the Commissioner General to usher the chief guest to cut the cake as we conclude this very ceremony. So we are now going to turn to the cake that is in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. I need to introduce the fact that each of us guests, on behalf of URA, you will take home with you a tree to plant in your compound and in your institutions, in your farms. And this is really to encourage as many of us to grow many, many, many trees and plant as many, many trees. And the URA continues to support the environment protection initiatives of government. And we want to appreciate URA for providing the trees. So as you depart, please pick a tree, and that will be after lunch. Do not leave before lunch, please. We have lunch prepared for you. This was a special request from one of our winners. So Prime Minister, we will count down from 5 as we cut this beautiful cake on this. Bishop, you're allowed now to pray again for us, since we are going to eat our lunch. So Bishop did pray for us to have breakfast. Now he will do the honors to do the same for lunch. Bishop, you can come to the podium, please, and pray for us. The Prime Minister requests, sir.
May we stand and we pray, please. Lord, our Heavenly Father, we thank you because you've answered our prayers, which we offered in the morning, and we asked you to guide our function up to the end, and thank you for bringing us to the close of this function. And thank you for the presence of our chief guest and all other guests who have been able to make it here. And we thank you for the government of Uganda, especially the president, the three arms of government, the executive, the legislative, the judiciary, the parastatal bodies, and especially URA, that is celebrating today the taxpayers. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you. We ask for your blessing upon each one of us. And as we come to the close of this event, we ask for your blessing upon each one of us, and especially upon our country, and especially upon URA. We ask that you dismiss us with all your blessings. And as we also reach the end of the events, including the cutting of the cake, we ask for your blessing upon what you provide for us to enjoy. Bless this cake as we share it, and the rest of the meal that has been prepared for us to share this afternoon. Thank you for being our God, who is ready not only to listen, but also to answer our prayers, because you love us and you care about our needs. We praise you, we love you, we worship you, and may the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be with each one of us and all our loved ones from now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bishop Amos Magezi, the Bishop of Northwest Ankole. We'll now count from 5. Oh, you have cut? Okay, can we give a round of applause for the Prime Minister who cut as soon as the prayer was ending? Thank you very much, Right Honourable. We'll allow for, please remain standing. We'll allow for the Right Honourable to get to her seat. We'll have the anthems in reverse order. Oh, okay. Prime Minister, I can allow you, if you, with your permission, you're the leader of government business. Anthems, please, in reverse order. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. Can we give a round of applause to the Right Honourable Prime Minister? We thank you for joining us, Right Honourable. We appreciate your time this morning and early afternoon and for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, you can take your seats. Please do take your seats.
Jovia ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa Jovia kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli
tewali kumuku ki ky'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
This week on UBC.
This is Kakene campsite. It's one of the most beautiful campsites we have here in Kidepo, with 360-degree view of the park. And one can enjoy the beautiful sunrise and the beautiful sundown here right at Kakene campsite.
Avoka Kidepo is special. You see, we are just 5 meters. Just 5 meters from a buffalo. You see the buffalo? Nowhere else on earth you can get that. But this is Kidepo. And also, as you can see, the valleys are very good. It is facing even mountains and even those ones you can see in South Sudan. You're seeing those mountains in South Sudan. And you can see this one from the east and the west.
Over 1,000 children with disabilities in Uganda every 5 years have not had access to adequate education. And this has been basically due to lack of assistive devices to enable them get reasonable accommodation in schools. Mokisa Humanity and Inclusion Foundation is leading a campaign to fundraise for assistive devices for 500 children with disabilities to get in school in the year 2024. Join us to fundraise for braille machines, slates and styluses, white cane, braille paper, hearing aid, wheelchairs, audiobooks, book recorders, JAWS software, among others on 10th December at Hotel Africana. Register your child with a disability by calling us on 0740 55 04 95 or 0783 91 11 14. Donations from well-wishers are also welcome. Entrance is 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 and a table goes for 1 million shillings. This is sponsored by UBC, Mokisa Inclusive Schools, Mokisa Nursery and Primary School, Herona Hospital, Msafiri Tours and Molia Foundation.
We are 6 women. We started our business of a nursery bed and have so far run it for 4.5 years.